Hello and welcome to today's edition of Mexico News Network's Breaking News Business. I'm Elliot Bullman. Let's start with today's show. When 2017 began, weeks before Donald Trump moved into the White House, Mexico's economic landscape was tainted with deep pessimism. If someone had said that by the end of September we would see an economic growth of more than 2% or an exchange rate of 18 pesos, that position would have been considered senseless. On January the 1st, Mexico's New Year's hangover was greeted with a 20% increase in gasoline prices that caused looting in stores in various parts of the country and generated an environment of social instability. The change between the pessimistic perspectives of January and those prevailing in September is truly remarkable. There are real reasons for positive change in expectations about the economy. For example, negotiations for the modernization of NAFTA commenced despite Trump threatening to pull out of the talks. Public finances in the first half of the year showed greater discipline, and not only will this year achieve a primary surplus, but it will be higher than expected. This has led to an improvement in the outlook for Standard & Poor's and Fitch. In addition, Mexican investors who had resources abroad responded to the tax incentives offered by the Mexican government and repatriated capital that in mid-August exceeded 200 billion pesos, surpassing several times the amount initially expected. This contributed to the appreciation of the exchange rate in addition to the higher revenues from remittances, tourism and exports. In other news, after Hurricane Irma devastated popular Caribbean islands such as the Bahamas, St. Thomas and Cuba, cruise lines will have to rethink their travels in the near future. In its search for new ports, Mexico is likely to be the best option. For example, Norwegian Cruise Line's departures until November will only make stops in the Western Caribbean, the company said in a statement via email. The Norwegian escape ship, with 4,000 passengers on board and sailing the Caribbean before Irma hit the area, was diverted to Cozumel to avoid the storm. Jose Arturo Musi, president of the Mexican Association of Companies for Cruise Ship Care, said that Mexican ports such as Cozumel, Mahahual or Progreso are likely to benefit from the devastating effects of the hurricane on some Caribbean islands. Tourism is the main economic activity of Quintana Roo and Yucatan, where these ports are located. Quintana Roo contributed 1.7% to the GDP in 2015, while Yucatan contributed 1.6%, according to the latest data available from the National Institute of Statistics and Geography. It may take time for cruise lines to establish new routes, Musi said, though Miami is likely to remain the region's main port. He said that only Puerto Rico, Panama or Cozumel has the capacity to provide fuel, food and the necessary migratory services. Moving on. In Mexico, 80% of pets that are lost and unable to return to their homes within the first 3 days are destined to die. Based on these figures, and with the intention of helping to eradicate street dogs, Jose Manuel Canete founded ID Animal, a startup that offers smart plates that records the information of the pets and their owners, so that in case of loss, they can be quickly located through your cell phone. Subsequently, upload a photograph of the pet and create a profile, which appears when the QR code of the plate is read by a smartphone. The company's founder said that under the QR code, each badge has a unique ID number, which, after communicating with the ID Animal phone line, must be marked and automatically linked to the owner's telephone number. The platform also offers a directory of pet-friendly veterinary, among other services for the pet. The ID Animal plate is for sale at Animalia stores, and in addition, it has an alliance with the National Protector of Animals so that users can report lost dogs even if they don't have a smart card. Initially, the product had a unique price. However, the startup entered an incubation program with Startup Mexico and changed its business model. Now the plate has a monthly cost of 40 pesos with discounts for the acquisition if it's up to 6 months, 1 or 2 years. Thus, Animal ID plates went from being a product to a maintenance service. And finally, let's turn to the markets. The Mexican peso decreased 0.0263 or 0.15% to 17.73 from 17.75 in the previous trading session. IPC Mexico increased 0.67% to 50,258 from 49,922 in the previous trading session. This was all for today. Thank you for staying with us. I'm your host, Elliot Bullman. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, and log on to MexicoNewsNetwork.com for more information on Mexico and the world. Until next time.